sure that you limit yourself to public space and social distance. Keep in mind, it can take up to 14 days for someone to show symptoms if they do at all. So they can be a carrier. So you might not know that person you stand next to is sick. Sweet. Next slide. I included this. This was as of May 19, all of the corona cases that California is reporting. As you can see from where we're at up in the Bay Area, we are in a couple hotbeds from Sacramento, Oakland, and San Francisco. So just think about that if you're thinking about going and traveling, and pretty much avoid LA at all costs because that looks like a hotbed down there. Next slide. So things that you can do, make sure to wash your hands. Just like they taught us in elementary school, stay 6 feet apart from anybody. And if you can't, make sure you wear a mask to the max extent possible. Don't share food, utensils, or beverages. And if someone's crowding into your space, it is now socially acceptable to ask them for space or to pick up your stuff and move away from them. Or you can do the old thing of you move away from them and tell them it's not you, it's me, and move on from there. And if you feel sick, make sure you stay at home. Outdoor spaces should keep you pretty safe, but be cautious when you're thinking about going out dining out somewhere, going to coffee shop, any other similar places, because in the previous slides I highlighted that the virus can hang around for 3 days on any sort of surface. So think about menus, things like that, that it could be hanging around on. And then on a personal note, I would like to pass a message to Colonel Pawluk. Thank you for all the mentoring and the good times. I enjoyed our multiple talks about the Air Force leadership and the next strategy to get the Packers to win that Sunday. It is my hope that one day we meet up and have a frosty beverage in the magical land of cheese and spotted cow. And that's all I got for you guys for safety. If you have anything this weekend, please let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Captain Morgan. Really appreciate that. We're going to now transition to flight leadership for some for thoughts and for this COVID stuff and just in general. So we're going to kick it off with CSS, Lieutenant Fry.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So I just have two kind of quick stories slash messages, I guess. So it seems like everything we've been doing has been because of COVID, right? But the CSS, I think we've really done a lot despite COVID. I say that like we really didn't have any meetings or get-togethers before this started. We just kind of popped into each other's office, maybe some emails. But what we've done in the last couple months is we've had multiple meetings throughout the week. We've had lunch together. We've really just kind of called each other to check in. So I brag about that to tell you that try to find something positive to take back with you. Sometimes I get down on myself when I think about maybe the day didn't go exactly how I wanted it to, but we're really going to take back as the CSS a positive note that we need to have more meetings together and we need to stay in touch. And so we've just kind of come together despite COVID. The other thing I wanted to say was I've never been a part of a flying unit. I think you guys have heard me say that before. I always wanted to be. I am super excited to be here. But my first impression when I got here was, wow, there are a lot of meetings. And I understand like those meetings, while they are to get us all on the same page, they've really been to check on the unit, to check on the unit. So how can we improve? How can we make communication better? Is so-and-so okay? Is this section okay? And I think that has really everything to do with you, Colonel Pawluk. I know we're saving everything for the end, but I know the CSS ladies will miss you. We thank you for your leadership and hope to see you on the other side, sir. Everyone have a good weekend. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lieutenant Fry. So, switching now to transition.
Hey, Lieutenant Spell here. Good morning, everybody. First, I just wanted to thank everybody that participated and attended Muley 101. As we continue to learn as a flight, we want to improve. So if anyone has feedback for how that was run, just let myself or Captain Hinojosa know. Once things do get back to a more normal schedule, we anticipate Muley 101 as being a multi-day event with the front office speaking on one day and the shops filling up the other days as necessary. That being said, my next Melee 101 probably won't be for a while due to my TDY. So Captain Butler will be stepping in as the System Flight Commander for the foreseeable future. So thanks in advance to him for his hard work, because I know he's going to do a great job. And last but definitely not least, thanks to Colonel Pawluk, my first operational squadron commander. It's been an awesome 2 years that I'll never forget. And hopefully we'll see each other in the future. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Lieutenant Sapel. Now to readiness, Sergeant Cecil.
Hey, y'all. Just wanted y'all guys to know that since this whole COVID thing kicked off, the mobility flight's still been working hard just because the stop order movement came down. It slowed us down for a little bit, but we still had some deployments to fill and we had people to get back home. And we also instituted a new readiness Slack channel. I'm sure you guys saw that for readiness scheduling. So all readiness needs, you can go through that. And also like to thank you, Colonel Pawluk, just for always checking out our deployed members, making sure they're being taken care of and that their dates and everything are squared away. With that, that's all I got.
Thank you, Sergeant Cecil. And readiness, switching now to operations, Captain Jan.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Captain Jen here. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend, so I encourage you all to get out and enjoy the nice weather. However, with local businesses opening up slowly again, don't let your guard down. You know, everyone else in the community is also looking to get outside this weekend. So stay diligent in practicing your good hygiene and social distancing. You know, it's our actions as a community now that if and when there's going to be a second wave of this, you know, WHO reported yesterday the highest number of cases in one day. So the virus is still out there. It's still alive and well out there, unfortunately. So regardless, though, remember why you're here, why you joined the military, you know, why you're the mighty double deuce. I'm personally a firm believer in the notion that if you fully grasp what the why behind something, you're much more inclined to make a good decision because your heart and your conscience are in step, really, to keep your decision making in check. So some of us, you know, may not look like we're in the military, myself included, but we're still flying missions. We're still flying locals and sims. You know, we're still a high performing team. So individually, it's our job to be ready when the schedulers call us and ask us if we're available. So just keep that in the back of your mind throughout the weekend. So don't let your guard down. Enjoy the long weekend, but stay safe and stay diligent. And on a personal note, Colonel Pawluk, I just want to thank you. You've been an inspiration to us all. As your exec, I learned more from you than any other boss. And I don't think we'd be such a high-performing team, especially in this environment, you know, leading AMC through all of this without your leadership. That's all from Ops.
Thank you, Captain Jan. Really appreciate that. Training, Captain Will.
All right, good morning, Double Deuce. From the training shop, I'd just like to go over, highlight 3 things, basically, that we have. So first of all, I just want to say thanks for your patience to the whole team. I know it's been a rough time because of non-standard, you know, COVID-19. You're not getting your training events, getting everything accomplished that you want to get. So again, just thanks for your patience. Second, with that being said, I know it's tough to get your beans and your currencies logged, but there's only 1 month left that we have for the HAP. So I please advise that you go in and check on the SARM page your ITS and see and make sure that basically that anything that you have completed has been correctly logged off, and anything that's not, kind of track it on your own so you know what you're either going to be NMR for or non-current for. And again, try to get it knocked out in this last month that we have. Lastly, squadron leadership and training leadership is superly impressed with all the CT that is going on. We've heard nothing but good things. So keep it up, continue to stay in the books. It's only time you have available right now, which is plenty of it since we're all sitting at home, to stay in the books and become that SME of your crew position. Lastly, I'd like to basically say everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. On a personal note, Colonel Pawluk, the comment we always say, best of the business. And I think we are the best of the business because your leadership, you have basically driven us in that area to be the best of the business. So thank you for everything, all your guidance and support. You always put team in front of I, and I believe that's why we're here today. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Training and Captain Will. Stand of Major Select Smith.
Hey, good morning, Double Deuce. Sorry, Major Bateman's flying this afternoon, so you're stuck with listening to me this morning. Just two quick things from Stand of Al. The first, and kind of piggyback on what Training said, necessity is the mother of invention. And first quarter 2020, we released special interest items, and GK was one of them. COVID-19 happened, and you guys adapted. So between training, each of the crew positions worked out a CT schedule, and it's really reassuring from the Stand of Al perspective to see how much effort and time everyone has put into bettering GK, one of the special interest items. And I'm happy to report from the Stand of Al perspective, it was a special interest item in quarter 2 as well, overall for the entire OG, and it'll be going away in quarter 3, which is a testament to you guys' hard work and dedication to studying. So thanks to the training shop, thanks to individual efforts. It's been noted that on check rides, GK is looking better. It's been noted because of all the questions we get back in Santa Val that you guys are studying, and that stuff is great. Quick plug for GK, if you haven't downloaded the MQF app on your iPads, go ahead and do that. It's in the BlackBerry WorkApp store. It has the MQF on there, and you guys can cycle through and take MQF tests for each of your respective crew positions. So no excuse to not be studying your MQF and knocking out your tests so that when the time comes for testing, you're ready to go. And the second plug I have is just for iPads in our pub shop. So if you haven't gotten issued a new EFB, we've got new EFBs. We're going to finish up all of the E's first. So our pub shop is doing it by flight. If you were on the road when your flight was attacked, they'll come back around for a second swing and get you in a new iPad. Once all the E's, the Loadmasters engineers have issued new iPad Mini 5s, which are more storage and faster and better overall, we'll reattack the officers and get the officers their new iPads as well. I know if you're like me, your daily struggle with downloading EPUBs and all your flipping stuff for flight because the iPads run out of space. So the new ones are bigger, better, and faster. It'll be quite a bit easier. And then I'll join the train there, putting a personal plug into Colonel Pawluk. You're my 3rd commander in this squadron. Every commander has something that they focus on. And I can tell that culture was kind of the thing that you focused on. And from the Stand of Al viewpoint, as a prior C5 evaluator yourself, the culture you took to check rides and qualifications, and ensuring people were trained and that we evaluated them and gave that feedback back to the training programs to make them better. I think as a squadron, we grew from that. And I want to thank you personally for myself, and then for the squadron as a whole. We owe you a huge debt of gratitude for making the Double Deuce a great team already, but now even a better performing team. So thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Sandoval and Mitch like Smith. As we transition to the live view in the 22AS auditorium, just want to make my plug-in as well. Thank you, Colonel Pawluk, for all the countless hours behind the scenes that you do. We will never understand all the work that you did, day in and day out. So thank you, sir, for all of that. And you truly made us a team of teams. I will never forget that phrase being in the 20 seconds. So thank you, sir. Now we're going to switch it to the live view and hear remarks from from command staff.
All right, Layden, you got slides for the next one?
Yep, slides for the next one. There we go. Colonel Kramer.
Morning, everyone. I'll be quick for this segment at least. So for the pilots, job moves. So the op board's going to be coming out pretty soon. We have a slew of job moves, and that's our official document. So read it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Friday, there's going to be a special webcast at 14:22. So tune in if you have any family day events going on. And this week, for the pilots, it's been a week of reflection and introspection we focused on our Wednesday video. So remember, it's a 4-day weekend, but it's also Memorial Day weekend. That should mean something. especially in the aviation community. When I first came in, Memorial Day was kind of abstract. We thought about World War II, the sacrifices they made, Vietnam. But now as aircrew, Indy 08, Shell 77, Sitka 43, and most recently Global Express. So while you're out having fun, barbecuing, or out the boat, whatever you're doing this weekend, take a minute to reflect about those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Kramer. Loadmaster Sergeant Lotus.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I just want to start out by saying that in my own true fashion. Beyond that, Sergeant East has graciously allowed me to talk on behalf of the FD Loadmaster, the FD Superintendent, as well as we really don't have too much for you other than we've communicated a lot through Slack already. So have a good weekend, stay safe, continue to be the professionals that you are, and the excellent Loadmasters. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I got the engineers. Master Sergeant East, did you have anything, or we press on the next?
For the engineers.
Copy. All right. Sergeant Myers, for sure.
Okay, between the flags here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Just happy to be here in person. I know we're low volume, but it's having y'all out there. Here we are. Alex last all. It's kind of a moment, I'm sure, but I'm happy we got one more time to stand up here together, because I was unsure if it was going to happen. So great for that, but they were missing about 200 wheelies here. And, I wish that was different, but glad for what we have. Wanted to do and talk about you, sir. You know, because I got up here as maintainer, and I had a lot of thoughts, because I didn't know, I didn't have a lot of training yet on what being a shirt was like, and I had a commander to look to, and a couple weeks of talking to another shirt to learn what was going on. But something I learned very quickly was that my boss was not out for himself, and that everything for a shirt, you know, our every conversation, everything we talked about was about the team. You know, it didn't matter if it was discipline, if it was messaging. We were talking about what effect was this action or this decision going to have on people and the team, and how is it going to make us better, you know, rather than, you know, hard line or any of the things that you might assume. So as a shirt, that's the golden ticket. You know, you want somebody to care about the people. Because that's my only job, is the people. So you know, I'm not worried about the operations. I just want you guys to be a healthy, happy, mission-ready force. So that really worked for me, and pushed me to be a better shirt, because I knew my boss was worried about the team. Amen. And not worry about anything superfluous. But it's not about him. It's not about me. It's not about any one person. It's not about the DO. It's about the we. And that's the message that I got from the conversations and from doing the job. So it's been an honor to be your shirt for the last year. And set this squadron up for success. I think Colonel Trumbull's got a lot of work ahead for him, because that's the job. But I think you prepared the squadron for him, and you prepared him for the squadron. So thank you for all you've done.
transitioning to Senior DeAngelis.
Hey team, how's everybody doing? I'll keep this one short and sweet. We talked about safety, right? And we're talking about mostly COVID type actions, wearing your mask, social distancing. I just want to touch on briefly another aspect of safety, right? We have beautiful weather this time of year, people out getting yard work done, whatnot. We recently, just this week, had a high-performing master sergeant on base, was cutting his grass and had a screw shot up into his eyeball. So just know that things can happen. Make sure you're always wearing your proper protective equipment, no matter what you're doing. You don't want to go back and second guess yourself. So I will leave it at that point for this part of it, and I'll be back to talk later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Senior. Major Fernandez.
Morning, Double Deuce. Again, I'll keep it short as well. I just want to thank everybody's contributions to ensuring that our ops, the COVID pivot, if you will, has been seamless for us. So we haven't skipped a beat out on the road. I would expect a little bit of thrash with missions right now. So our allocation may reduce from 5 to 3 in the next couple of weeks. That should be fairly transparent to you all. What I am going to ask for you all is to stay safe. As restaurants start opening up, have your teammates in mind. Because the last thing we want is one of our mules sick. I'll talk more about Pawluk later. Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. And now we will switch now to Lieutenant Colonel Pawluk.
Hey, Double Deuce. How you doing? Certainly bittersweet this moment. And I think I'm going to have more words here in a second as far as thoughts on the team and reflection. But I want to just do the normal, right? Goes too far. Is it the mustache? Can you guys see it okay? I'm not shaving it through until we're through this crisis. So I want to echo the reflection for a moment, because that is what Memorial Day means. Second. So I'm going to cry, but I'm not going to ugly cry. That's my goal. I don't want to pull a Tom the View. Okay? Make some weird noise while I'm talking about it. But we lost 2 teammates this year, right? It's tough. So have a great weekend. Reflect a little bit about what it means. I'll be back.
Oh, jeez. That is certainly hard to follow. However, thankfully, I'm not going after Colonel Kramer, so I won't sound like a complete. I typed this up because I often say things off the top of my head. We start with this, so I can safely say this. There's children in the room, so I can keep myself to the script. I have the great pleasure of being first and saying a few words on what Colonel Pawluk's will be Colonel Pawluk's final commander's call on the 22nd, once she comes back. I don't normally write things down. I usually say them off the top of my head. I guess that should be the first thing I thank you for, sir, is your patience, your immense patience, if you know what I'm saying. I wanted to write these things down so I don't forget anything. First, I'd like to talk a little bit about how Colonel Pawluk has affected me personally as supervisor and boss, and then transition to how he's affected all of the masters. When you first arrived at Travis, you instituted a foreign concept within the military, 100% honestly, one of team leadership. Being a prior security forces member, I found myself confounded at Pawluk. I was somewhat confused as to how to proceed. Through your kind mentorship and many thoughtful inputs, I feel that I've really grown as a leader in person. I truly appreciate everything that I'll be talking about. But the speech isn't all about me. On behalf of the Loadmaster Corps, I want to express our thanks as well. We struggled with many Loadmaster issues at the 22nd and started well before your time here. And no one has done so much to push us forward. To name just a few, you have championed our training issues to higher headquarters and always sought out ways to incorporate Loadmasters more in the squad in times when we didn't want to make us all part of the team. A fair leader, you have always treated all members with the respect they deserve. And as a caring person, you have always been the #1 supporter of your people and their goals, their careers, and their lives. Your tenure as commander at the 22nd certainly has been unprecedented. We've experienced numerous life-altering events that you've courageously led us through. Your strong dedication to your team, to our team, has not gone unnoticed. In my humble opinion, the #1 thing that you impart upon us all is the care for each other. Along with the many accomplishments that you've achieved 22nd, I believe that will be your legacy. As our token of appreciation to the Loadmaster, as a token of our appreciation, the Loadmasters would like to present you with a gift. Unfortunately, due to the current situation that we find ourselves in, it has been delayed. Hopefully it'll be ready soon and we can present it to you shortly. Thank you for your immense dedication to us all and for the countless hours you've sacrificed. And I will salute you with 6 feet distance. Thank you.
All right, good morning, Double Deuce. So for the engineers, this is just for me personally. Everybody knows I'm a resident Old Head. Over 10 years ago, a decade ago, a young Staff Sergeant Ish was flying with a young Captain Pawluk and moving the mission Dover, and I remember those times fondly. It was great to come back from the AWACS to the C5 and see a familiar face. And thinking back to those times on the road with young Captain Pawluk, to then see you as the commander, it was definitely special for me personally. What I've seen you do as a commander, I've been in a bunch of different squadrons, like I think 6 or 7 different squadrons, dozens of commanders. Your dedication to the squadron is unparalleled. You really care about people. It's crazy. You put your heart and soul into the 22nd. Me personally, thank you so much. From the engineers, you've, the most important crew position we got on the C5, the flight engineers. We know that you've always got our back, out there on the road, moving the mission. We see what you do in the squadron. We see what you do for the members. So we know that translates when we're on the road for us, for our crew, the entire crew, and moving the mission. So that being said, we got you a gift. It arrived in time, even though we were late getting it going. So I'd like to present that to you now. I gotta make this a surprise here. So, courtesy of Tech Sergeant Hahn, Tech Sergeant McCauley, what we got is a powder-coated muley patch, and just down here we put an inscription with appreciation to our commander, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Pawluk, from the flight engineers of the 22nd Airlift Squadron. And due to the COVID, we've only got 24 signatures on there, but I promise to get you more.
This is awesome. I love it. This is amazing. So I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you.
And then
So you're going to get away with a quick snippet. No. On behalf of the pilots, they got a gift. I didn't bring anything myself. In the words of Tyrion Lannister, I am the gift. When I first found out I was coming back to the Double Deuce, I was excited. I was talking to a dude I knew down at Randolph who was stationed with you in Dover. Salzy said, yeah, Pawluk, good dude. He's short. And that's all I knew coming in. And the day I showed up, we got to meet. Yeah. The day we met, it's like, hey, how's it going? I'm pinning on tomorrow. Can you swear me in? And we stood up here, and you swore me in as lieutenant colonel. And it was kind of weird. Usually you pick someone you know, and I got a good one. So that's a memory. Thanks for doing that. I did have some words prepared. I was thinking about how we're interesting as human beings, how we react to stimuli, especially when dealing with others. Small things, the vibrations in their throat, the squint of their eyes, a smirk, or big things like great achievement, losing control of emotions, or making life-altering decisions. They have a profound effect on us, emotionally and physiologically. People can raise our blood pressure, cause us to ball our fists. They can soothe tension, bring a smile or an unexpected laugh. They can make emotional pain manifest in the physical. They can even cause us to leak water from our eyes. We have had the distinct pleasure of serving with a leader who has exhibited technical, administrative, and academic excellence. Together, thanks to you, we have found satisfaction and meaning in striving to better ourselves. To become smarter airmen, lethal operators, and exemplary people. While this alone would qualify a great leader, I believe you went a step further, a big step, from academic to practical, from the minimum to exemplary. What's the difference? How do you bridge that chasm? You cared. Not just in the sacrifices for us and our families, looking out for our careers, our needs, our life goals, squaring paperwork, massaging assignments, poring over every decision, tirelessly soliciting feedback, making hard calls, and ensuring we celebrated each other's victories. You meant it. You put it out there. You left it all on the field. You internalized our collective struggles and successes. You pounded the ramp with us. You celebrated with us, guided us, pondered, pontificated, even wept in our darkest times. You grieved with us. You gave this place, these people, a piece of you, a piece of your family, something we can never repay. We can only hope to be worthy of it and act in kind for the future. There's this sports ball coach from the Midwest that people seem to like. He once said, I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment of all he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. That's a hell of a thing. I hope you feel that next Friday, because you truly earned the greatest of rewards. And it's not something the OG can pin on your chest, not even the admiration from those you've served. It's in that quiet moment when you walk back to your car with your wife and your son, having relinquished the flag and said your goodbyes. I hope it hits you. That you've run a hard race, given your all, and you can be at peace, content in a job well done, victorious. Thank you.
Morning, Double D's, sir. I don't have a slide anymore, at least not yet, for another week. So I asked Cosmo to steal a little bit of his time and also speak for the officers as a whole. We're in a new normal, right? I even hate to say those words because it just seems like we're just kind of rolling over. But rolling over is not what we do in the Double D's. We persevere, we push through, and we get stronger as a team. I'm going to steal a chapter from the commander. You'll see me do that more often as we go through these next couple of years. And when he farewelled Chief Stegel, he asked each and one of us about a week or so out to just provide some words, thoughts, and memories that he could read on stage. So I did that. I received an overwhelming response, and we'd be here an hour if I was going to read all of them. So I'm going to save those and put those in a bit of a scrapbook for you later, but I wanted to read just a few to set the stage. In the movie The Sandlot, the ghost of Babe Ruth tells Benny, heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Many squadron commanders, even good ones, make just enough of an impression to be remembered, but that impression fades. Your time here has been different. Your timeless commitment to leading this squadron based on a bedrock of common culture and shared pride has been truly inspiring. Just as importantly, you solidified that culture without making it about yourself. It was always about the team. Down to the newest member, that's what makes you not only a hero, but a legend. The way you challenge us every week at all calls to always make this squadron the better home, the deep and thoughtful conversations during professional development, the support of the families, and the earnest soul searching during some of the darkest times this squadron has ever seen. Even the rousing holiday party speeches, amazing. That is the stuff of legends. For all you've done, for every member of the mighty Double Deuce, thank you, the best of luck, Captain Jeff Lacey. Next, together as a team, we went through the most difficult situations that you could put anyone through, from being on the brink of war with North Korea and then most recently with Iran, drastic changes to how we operate and losing 2 members of our unit. Your leadership prevailed in the hardest of times. You will be missed by everyone. Best of luck. Master Sergeant Sam Callis. Thank you for being the best boss anyone could ask for. Despite the many challenges thrown at you during your command, this team has grown a lot due to your leadership. I'm not sure how we would have responded if we would have not had you at the helm or guide us through such difficult times. It's been a pleasure helping create this best squadron in the Air Force. Enjoy your much-deserved break in the wonderful city of Boston, and I hope to get to cross paths with you again someday soon. Captain Zach McColgan. And lastly, for now, sir, the last year, your leadership in the Double Deuce has been a consistent reminder of what caring the most looks like. When I arrived up here, I wondered how a fired-up maintainer was going to fit on this high-performing team. It soon became apparent that you had the answers, and it simply was about putting the team first. From crushing admin tasks in the middle of the night to the many personal mentoring sessions you gave our members, it's been about the Double Deuce every day of your command. I'm a better shirt for having you as my commander, and this squadron is better from your impact. I know it's been a tough 2 years of command, and I wish you the best of luck in Boston and beyond. Our very own shirt, Miss Myers. I will save my personal comments for the change of command. And I have everything on a sheet of paper so I can stay on target. Otherwise, I'm going to get emotional. And if I do, it's just pure testosterone that's leaking from my eyes. Okay. These comments I say next are just on behalf of the officers of the Coastal Collective. I'll begin with a famous quote from one of your favorite leaders and strategists of the 20th century. The folks that are watching and those in the room, if you've been in the commander's office, you've seen his portrait with some words prominently placed on the wall. Never was so much owed by so many to so few. In this case, one. It was said by Prime Minister of Great Britain, Winston Churchill, 1941 to Parliament, during and after the Battle of Britain. And the bottom line is that quote is about sacrifice. The sacrifice of aviators in that time, right, that went up in the air and battled with the Germans and were able to prolong the war long enough to get the Allies together and achieve great things, right, to overcome evil. It was about the sacrifice that I felt that this very own commander of ours, Colonel Pawluk, has done for us, both him and Stan. Sir, stay on target. Stay on target. Sir, your love for this team knows no bounds. Your character, dedication, and enthusiasm permeate the corridors of this squadron and our glorious aircraft that we fly. Your calm nerve and steadfast leadership has vectored this team through turbulent storms and propelled us to new heights of achievement. The true count of your sacrifices will never be known, but the impact made on this team and each individual muley on this team will never be lost or forgotten. Now, this officer corps has been conspiring since November to construct you something worthy of your sacrifice and your family's sacrifice. Conspiring is what we do as officers, right? We're good at it. So this is going to be a bit weird for an all call, everyone, but we're going to go mobile. All right. So I've got my phone here, and our very excellent execs, if you wouldn't mind, can you put my cell phone? Thank you. Got it already. Perfect. You got my cell phone up, and what we're going to do is we're going to transition outside. So everyone in the room, all 10 of us, want to put your masks on, please. And we're going to follow the commander on out and present his gift on behalf of the officer. We are. We're coming back. We're right back, everybody. Right back.
Right up front.
We want to make and the staff and something
I don't even have the words. This is just amazing, and it means so much to me. It means so much to me that you guys do this. And it's something that I'll treasure forever, right? I can only say thank you. I'm just overwhelmed right now. Thank you. All of you, every one of you. I love it, guys. I love it. I just,
where's the scotch?
That's later. That's for later. Later.
I don't know how to thank you physically right now because my body wants to hug and grasp and love. And with COVID and this mask, I can't do that. Hopefully, we can share some scotch or some type of single malt, perhaps a cigar here very soon because I love this team, everything about being, and it represents some of the finest things on this group. I really mean that. This is just incredible. So thank you again.
All right, we're making our way back up. It's not over yet.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, guys. Humor over smart. Thank you. I'll figure out how to figure this out.
Best. All right. You on mute? Off mute. All right, sir. Coming into the squadron, when you got into the squadron, I helped with the transition. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anybody in the squadron. I didn't know you. But the three things that I want to highlight and how I view your leadership is your vision. Your ability to determine what's important and versus what's not. And that's just based on previous commanders that I've served under. And your ability to just cut through the bullshit and focus on what's important. I think that's something that we value very highly. Second is your ability to take risk when others may not have the courage to do so. And sticking your neck out for the team for what's right. That's something that really stands out to us. And then the last thing is your ability to keep your ear to the ground and having that desire to really know what is going on. And that comes out of a point of caring. We really care about us. Just like the loads, our gift not arriving on time. So you will get it sometime next week. But it'll complement the bar pretty nice. So thanks.
All right, team. So real quick before I go, we have a guest speaker that would like to talk, not in person, but on video. Chief Stagel, if you're able to log in, get a few words.
Well, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hey, Johnny.
How do you hear? You got me?
Loud and clear.
Well, good morning from America's finest city, San Diego. Man, what a thrill to be on this Zoom meeting and see 200 plus people, many people I knew when we served together. Many people are new. That's the nature of the business, right? Senior Master Sergeant DeAngelis had asked if I could chime in. I think that came after a discussion with Colonel Trumbull. Man, what an honor to be back, to see the stage, and to see all the people. Although incredibly strange, the way things have changed in the previous months. It's neat that we're able to leverage some technology and make this happen, but it is truly an honor. Colonel Pawluk, I bailed on you about a year ago, if you can believe it. June 22nd, Double Deuce Day, is when my ceremony was. And I departed a little bit earlier than I should have, but it was because of your willingness to let me pursue the next phase of my life. And for that, I will always be grateful. Although it probably didn't hurt that bad that I left, because I think you were in good hands with Senior Master Sergeant DeAngelis, the rest of the senior NCOs, Master Sergeant Jesse Myers, who I'm thrilled to see is still in the seat as a shirt. But what I really wanted to do is just take this opportunity to say thank you to you for helping me and my family transition, and for the leadership that you provided. Many of you know I served for 30 years, 7 squadrons, 2 different groups in various leadership roles. I have not met a finer officer, Colonel Pawluk. You're a gentleman. You have a wonderful family. The way you lead from the heart, it's phenomenal. It will continue to carry you, but I will tell you, the Double Deuce has been more than lucky to have you as their leader. And although there have been some ups and downs, some tragedies, and certainly a lot of things to celebrate, in the success. I think you can pass the guide on to Colonel Trumbull, knowing that you did your absolute best. You sacrificed as much as you possibly could. And this is at the end of a phenomenal command. A lot of people celebrate a win with Mom Napa bubbly champagne. So expect to see 2 boxes of that fine nectar arrive on your doorstep here shortly. I apologize. It's still with me. It will require an adult signature. So hopefully yourself or Ashante will be in quarantine when that arrives. But please enjoy it and celebrate the success that you're realizing now. And all the best to you. All the best to Colonel Trumbull, Sergeant DeAngelis, as you transition to the AMOS. And man, what a great and exciting thing to celebrate. So thank you for including me in this. I love you, man. And if I didn't do it before I left, enjoy the next chapter, sir. Love you, man.
Thanks, Johnny. I love you. Thanks for being here. It means the world to me.
You bet.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for everybody's words. Hard to follow, right? I've been thinking about a lot of words, so it seems like a while, but things have really snuck up on me lately. And I think I've had a pen and paper sitting on my desk for months now, but have never been able to sit down because I don't know what the right words are to say. Let me first start off so I don't forget to thank Mrs. Pawluk and Yuri for your contributions to the family, to the team. Your support and love for all of our members has truly had so much impact on the team. And your support for your husband and father has truly enabled him to lead this team the way he has. And I just want to thank you guys so very much. I'm so looking forward to hearing about your journey, especially moving to the greatest city in the world and hearing about Yuri tearing it up playing hockey. But thank you guys so very much. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care." I stood on the stage 2 years ago and was able to farewell Colonel Damon. And I said, I've never seen a leader care for his people as much as he did. Every time we sat in a meeting together, he always asked how the member was going to feel by the decision he made, either good or bad. Colonel Pawluk took command and went to the next level on that. It wasn't just about how the member was going to feel, but how it was going to impact the entire team as a whole. I've never seen a more forward-thinking leader in this world. Just like it was alluded to earlier, we've gone through a lot of crises, possible crises, right? War with Iraq, or war with North Korea, possible war with Iran, the COVID ops now. And who was the one leading the charge? Not just in this squadron, but the wing in AMC was Colonel Pawluk. And your leadership was tremendous to see day in and day out how forward thinking you were to be ahead of the team. The Air Force as a whole was just outstanding and unbelievable in my eyes to see that day in and day out. When you did take command, I wasn't sure how this was going to work, right? A diehard Packers fan, diehard Patriots fan working together. But I think if you're driving towards the same goal, it doesn't matter your upbringing, doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what your favorite sports team is. It just matters about taking care of the people and taking care of the team. Today has a lot of impact on myself, not because we're here sending off the best leader that we've seen. May 21st, 2002, I was getting off the bus at basic training and getting yelled at by a TI for I wasn't getting off the bus fast enough, I wasn't breathing properly, whatever it may be. But to be able to sit here or stand here 18 years later and say, over the last 2 years, you have provided the greatest impact in my career that I've seen throughout the rest of my career. And that is a testament to you. I've never had a leader demand so much from me without having to open up your mouth. Day in and day out, I feel that is what an exceptional leader is you don't have to tell somebody or command people to be their best. It's just the quality that you have that demands that of people. Two years ago, you stood up here and you told us about how important team was, right? And you've heard about that throughout the day today, how important team is to you and how you joined us together as a team. It's been one of the most remarkable things that I've seen of just gathering a team together, and you've never stopped, right? Last weekend, Colonel Pawluk gave us, the leadership team, some homework. And a lot of people say, man, homework, we had to do homework. It wasn't something we had to fill out, turn in, we're gonna get graded on. It was listening to a podcast and providing our thoughts of how we get better as a team for our feedback, for our reports, whatever it may be. But it was a continually, till the end, striving to make us better as a team. And you never, never have given up on that. And it's been day in and day out. First all call, you asked the question, who knows who the winningest team in sports history is? Obviously, everybody said the Patriots. No, moved on, went to the Bruins. No, moved on, went to the Celtics. Wasn't any of them, right? So Colonel Pawluk played us a video of the New Zealand All Blacks, right? And then after the video, he taught us the 15 lessons in leadership. I left that all call and I went and talked to Chief Stagel and said, man, I had goosebumps. I've never had that before. I walked out of there totally amazed. And I feel like I wasn't the only one in that room that felt that way. It's not about their winning percentage. It's about the culture that they instilled. And that is what we've talked about, and you've heard that today, is you've instilled that culture throughout the Double Deuce. Maybe unknowingly, you have touched on every one of those 15 lessons in leadership throughout the 2 years. And it's been so amazing to see. And one of the best ones that we talked about is better people make all blacks, right? But it's better people make better muleys. And I truly have seen you say that and agree with that and want to know it's not just about our muley family, right? People are going to move on, but if I'm creating better people, we're going to have a better society and a better Air Force. I want to thank you personally for all you've given to me. The relationship between a commander and superintendent, there's something special about it, right? We've had many, many long talks about different situations, different career goals, whatever it may be. But it's those personal conversations that I won't forget. I can honestly say and leave here knowing I have a true friend for life, and I am so grateful for that. And there's no better leader I would have loved to lead with over the last 2 years than you. We always talk about in the Air Force, when you take on something, you want to leave it in a better place, right? And the All Blacks talk about leave the jersey in a better place. So with that being said, sir, on behalf of the leadership team and the Double Deuce as a whole, just like to present you with, got you an All Blacks jersey framed. It's got Friday patches and your Friday name tag. And as well as it just says Lieutenant Colonel Pawluk, 22 May 2018 to 29 May 2020. For the men and women of the Double Deuce, thank you for leaving the Jersey in a better place.
Wow. Thank you.
Before we end, so we have obviously a long-standing tradition in the Double Deuce, which is a huge tradition, and I've been able to see over the last 2 years Colonel Pawluk do this, and for him to ask me to do this was such a huge honor and really truly touched my heart. But at this point in time, obviously, I'm gonna pull the patch off of Colonel Pawluk, and then we're gonna place it in the Heritage Room at a later time.
Thank you. Where do I begin? Let me just start by saying I'm overwhelmed by emotion, pure raw emotion right now. I feel it in my blood, in my veins. It's a good feeling. It's a hard feeling. It's gratitude. It's pure fucking gratitude for you guys and for your thoughtfulness and for your care and what you do for each other. It's amazing. All right, equanimity, poise, calmness, I'm back. So what I thought I would do is, I've never shared this story with anybody, not my wife, not my son, and I want to do it live right now. I was a cadet in ROTC at the University of Wisconsin, Vet 925, Madison, Wisconsin. It's an old nurses building, it's condemned now. There's a second story, there's a library. It's dilapidated. It's one of those Air Force libraries. It's the cheesiest thing you'll ever see. And there was some of these books in the library. And I don't even think I knew what a squadron was yet, right? Like, I'm in that moment of cadet dumb. Like, I'm just dumb. And I've got a couple priorities. Learning's probably not high, right? But I'm sitting in there, and I don't remember why. And you have all these old books. They're like Soviet Union. This would be 1999 as I'm a cadet. And there's all these books. And I just happened to grab this book. And again, I didn't know what it meant. And I'm not selling this book, right? Like, don't worry. This is not going to be Professor Pawluk moment. It's just serendipitous. And I just read the words, commanding an Air Force squadron. And it was one of those moments. I'm like, what? Okay, command. I think as a cadet, that's probably something that I should think about. And then squadron. I think that's my first realization that the squadron is, as General Goldfein says, the beating heart of the Air Force. It is the primary unit of maneuver. It is why we are here. And it is tied to life, in my opinion. But let me read you the page that I opened and just a couple comments. And then I want to put it back down and get back to my thoughts. Commanding an Air Force Squadron, Timothy T. Timmons, Colonel, U.S. Air Force, written in 1993. Again, that's testosterone just oozing. I open to the introduction, and you see some highlights here. So bear with me, guys. Throughout my military career, I have frequently heard squadron commanders say their job was the best in the Air Force. I first remember those words coming from Colonel Charles Gear, commander of the 22nd Military Airlift Squadron at Travis Air Force Base. In that moment, I had a distant cousin who was a KC-10 pilot here. And I thought, wow, Travis Air Force Base, that's a place I want to go. And command sounds like something as a cadet I should at least think about. Why is it the best job? I explain it this way. Commanding a squadron is the only time in your career when you are simultaneously close to the mission and in command. And duty below squadron command may be close to the mission, but the mission is being accomplished by somebody else's way. Duty above squadron command may involve command doing things your way, but you are too far removed from mission and the people. Squadron command is at one point in time, this is at one point, where you have the best of both worlds. Commanding a squadron is not an easy task. A commander is fully involved in every aspect, nook, and cranny of the unit. The duty encompasses every second of every day the commander holds the unit flag. He or she must eat, sleep, and drink his squadron full time. The commander's job is unique in the unit. No other job approaches in its scope. The commander exists on his own turf, or her turf, right? And then, you know, it just dawned on me the other night in my study to now be the squadron commander of what was then called the 22 Military Airlift Squadron. The seed was planted by a random act of picking up a book that was on a shelf that, you know, was so kind of ugly that you'd probably not even want to pick it up, right? Never judge a book by its cover. Learn that hearing. So I thought I would share that with you because the ability to be here today means the world to me. To be here with you, the 10 of you in the room, and the rest of you on the line. It has been the greatest honor and privilege of my life, professionally. Obviously, my family here, and we'll get into this on tomorrow when we talk kind of graduate level service before self. And no one actually means your family first. That's not the sacrifice. I want to get into that here. But professionally, this has been mind-blowing. And today, you guys have humbled me to my core with your just thoughtfulness. First and foremost, your thoughtfulness. The gifts are a manifestation of your thought and your thankfulness. And to me, that means the world. Because it's not about physical things. It's about relationships. And that's probably why I care so damn much about this team. Is to me, this is life. This is the human condition. And there are other jobs out there that are not vocations. They're not callings. This is a calling for many of us. Not all of us, but many of us. And some it will become a calling. And it is something you should cherish. The time you have here in the Double Deuce. It is special time. So that's my opening salvo. And now I'm going to go to my black book where I have some other thoughts. Whew. All right. So I'm overcome by gratitude. I kind of started there, but it's an important feeling. And I want to take some time to thank everyone who's made this possible. I think that's a tall order because there's 222 or more of us. So if I miss you, somehow I apologize, but I'm going to do my best here. Students, I want to start there. Thank you for being a part of our team. It's a tough road that you guys have. It should be tough. I hope if anything is sinking in from this moment, you need to earn your place to be here, and that is difficult. But if you earn your place here, which you are all doing, we will wrap our arms around you. So my offer to all the students is keep owning your training, keep caring, and you'll get that return on investment more than you'll ever know. To the mission hackers, you know, my line flyers, mission MFs, MLs, ACs, keep at it. Stay professional and inspired to the next level. To my instructors, you guys are the center of gravity of this team. I don't give you enough praise for everything you do. You go to the brink of burnout and you come back, and you do it because you care. And I learned from you, right? Part of this is the learning ability from all the instructors. So thank you for what you do. To the evaluators, you guys are the guardians. It's not an easy job, the black hat, no one wants it, but thank you for guarding that culture that we keep talking about. To our SARMIs, the mission doesn't happen without you. And we don't say it enough. And to our CSS, our civilians, you guys are central to this team, right? You can't be in an ops flying squadron that's gone as much as we are and have the high performance without a team that keeps that continuity, and that's exactly what you do. So just kind of a call out by crews. Now I'm going to go flight by flight very briefly. Transition flight, you're doing amazing work, right? Hinojosa, Sapel, Trujillo, De La Rosa, Dash. Thank you guys. Thank you for what you're doing for this team. I know it's a heavy burden, but it's awesome to watch the leadership and the blooming and learning that's occurring. I'm indebted and grateful, and I know this whole team is. Training, Presnell, Loftus, Will, SB Waters, you guys are crushing it. We have an experience gap that's occurring, but tough, realistic training is the answer to that risk. And you guys are forward thinking and you get it done. And support flight, Fry, Gonzalez, Christie, Michelle, Christina, I'll say really later. Again, Lieutenant Fry, I was touched by your words, but know that what you guys do is so incredibly important, and it means the world to this team. And if we don't say thank you enough, I want to say it right now. Thank you so much for what you do for this team every day. Tactics, Hafker, Gray, Paget, thank you for what we've talked about. North Korea, Iran, we don't know what's coming. And you're the tip of that spear in tactics and how Fred develops. It doesn't have to be crazy tactics, but you're bringing us to the next level, and then training takes that on. So thank you. Readiness, Vaughn, Howder, CISO Music. You guys are the behind the scenes, quiet voices, those quiet professionals that enable this team. Time in and time and again, I rely on you guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Ops, Shrift, Jan, Willem. Thank you for keeping the ops going. You guys do incredible work, and I really like the combination of your leadership back there. Shrift and Jan, you've got it going on, so thank you. DOV, I mean, some heavy hitters here. Bateman, Smith, Callison, Casterius, and Nico. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for not just being programmatic leaders in stand-up out, which is kind of the default. If you go there, you can just lead by being an evaluator. But you guys are leaders of character. And character is so incredibly important. Thank you for doing that. Safety, Ralph, Coley, thank you. Thanks for making safety a priority. Thanks for keeping it light. I will find that time for that spotted cow. But Ralph, thanks for everything you've done with bringing it to all call and keeping us safety minded. To the DS office, Hale, Wilson, awards and decks under them. You guys are the HR of the team. You own the processes in all this team. I just want to say a moment of thank you for doing that. You know, they say you surround yourself with the team. You can play checkers and you can play chess. If you play checkers, everyone around you on the team is the same. But if you play chess, your player covers the weakness that you have, right? That's how you form a great team. I know you should try to know your weaknesses and your strengths and then form a chessboard of players that complement your weaknesses. And that has been the calling of the DS office and the Chief Pilot office, frankly, for me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for covering my weaknesses when no one's looking. execs, all of you, everyone who's ever been an exec, and to my current execs, Joe, Mark, Sparky, Clayton. Commander shared a special bond with his execs, and I am eternally grateful for your sacrifice, for the time behind a computer screen. I hope you have a VA claim coming in your eyes when you need bifocals and you can blame it as your time as an exec. 90% disability outside water. You guys make work fun, right? There is this ability for an exec for it to draw, but in my mind, I've told him this, exec is about development. It's about being in the inner circle. It's about sharing that bond. It is about keeping your ear to the ground, to keep that professional distance, as McRaven says, tight, so that you know the pulse of the team. Thank you. I learned from you guys, and I could not have done anything that was mentioned today without my exec team. And so thank you so much for that. We will share a spot in Calyet somehow. So the next person I was going to thank just ran out of the room. Oh, there she is. To the mother of all muleys, mom, mother of all muleys. I just want to say thank you for your warmth. Thank you for your caring. You know, the addition of you to the squadron has made the commander's job that much easier. You're a conduit to the key spouses. You are all these things that I could not put on paper, but I think what's most important is you are the face of the squadron to someone who's newly in processes, and the warmth, enthusiasm, and trust you project is the first thing they remember. So thank you for that. RMs, Zelonis, or do you prefer it? How do we say Zelonis now? Zelanus, thank you. Thomas, Nemechek, Ish. Resource managers. I mean, what's our greatest resource? Our people. So thank you for taking care of our team. It is fundamental to what we do, and we could not do it without your leadership, without your outlook, and honestly, without some of the accountability you bring. So thank you very much. Chief Pilot, Kramer, Asper, Cosmo Kramer. You are forever my brother. I won't tell you how that happened, but it's a good story. Cosmo, I admire so many things about you. I admire your heart first and foremost for this team. I admire that you take time for your family. But I really, the passion and then the time that you take, it's one thing to say you care about the team and then not put in the work. But what you see from Cosmo is someone who puts in the work and the prep. Those words don't just fall on a piece of paper. Writing is tough. And he does it every week because he cares so much. And so there's a beacon to follow in Cosmo Kramer. Thank you for the friendship, and thank you. Keep being that beacon for this team. It's amazing to watch. ADOs, you're my hockey lineup. I probably don't give you guys enough thanks, but the ADOs that we have now have brought credibility to the team, and they are seamless. And I just heard Fez the other day saying he hasn't so good that he's just FaceTiming people right now because the ADOs are doing all the work, right? So, and Fez is an honest guy. He wouldn't lie. ADOs, thank you. Thank you with the schedulers and the SARM team for running ops. Ops never stops. And I know the DO, that's the DO's purview, but it's also the commander's purview. And from the bottom of my heart, thanks, guys, for doing all that hard work, the folders. When everyone else is back home and you guys get dragged in and keeping the team moving in the right direction. You ADOs just really knock it out of the park. Okay. Dun. Stalling because I want to go here. All right, to the Pentagon. Right, top 5. The shirt, Jesse. first of all, I'll say there's a special relationship between all of these positions. But Jesse, we have been through some tough moments together. And the bond we share is something that I'll never forget. I really admire how you put your head down and you selflessly go for this team day or night. And I know you take some late phone calls. Thank you for looking after the team. Even when they don't know you're looking after the team, Jesse is constantly there. Thanks for the tough phone calls. A lot of the commanders' work, I will say, it's better because you have a shirt who knows how to handle and make some of these tough calls, whether it's to legal or security forces or to the hospital. He knows how to reach out and get things done. And you're very effective at taking care of our people. So I just want to say thank you for all the time, all the heartache, all the late nights. It means the world to me. It really does. To the ops superintendent who is not present, Cole, crazy Cole, his laugh makes me laugh. So that's why he got the job. But really, he gets it, and I think he's got that touch of operator and senior NCO that is rare. So it's good. So definitely gonna miss Cole. Bez, hey buddy. Major Fernandez is lethal. Right, that's how I would describe him. Lethal in his effectiveness, lethal in his disruption, lethal in his ability to communicate with people and cut through some of the tougher bureaucracy hurdles that we have and get things done. I cherish our friendship. He was the DS, my first DS, and you know, when you first take command, there's a lot of unknowns. You're kind of getting the lay of the land. And Major Fernandez is very good at being very blunt and very honest and saying, hey, boss, that's a terrible idea. Or we need to do more of that. That's a good idea, right? And it takes someone who can say those things and do those things. But really, thank you for being the leader that you are for this team, informally and formally, right? The influence you have, and it came fast, which speaks words to your character, coming from the KC-10. So really, I'm gonna miss our moments of talking about work and then just bigger subjects. And don't ever stop, brother. Don't ever stop changing the Air Force for the better, because you are one of the rare leaders that can go out there and do that. And I wish you the best of luck in whatever comes next for you. So thank you. All right, Brian. I think, like you, I've got some words written down on a change of command speech. I don't want to say them all here, but suffice it to say, I owe you a great deal of gratitude. You are an impeccable man and an officer, a father, and a husband. And what lets me let go is knowing that you're taking the flight, right? And I'll just stop there because we'll have our moment Friday. And thank you, Andrew, too, of course. I've got words for you on Friday as well. So, yeah.
10%.
We good? Running out of battery?
10%.
10%. I can do this in 10% or less. You guys are saved. All right, Steve Bass. I was just joking, but not really joking. Had 3 shirts, 3 DOs. Only had 1 Seabass. The relationship is special between the superintendent and the commander. There's a bond there. But that bond is, it's not natural, right? It's not just because there's a commander or superintendent. There is something deeper at play. And I think that is a convergence of a like-minded view of the world and, frankly, character. We value the same things. We care a whole bunch about this team. And we love what we do. And so for me, the greatest pleasure has been able to bounce all these ideas off of Seabass, especially when it comes to enlisted matters. And newsflash, I hope I'm not spoiling this for Brian, but when you become a commander, you don't know all the ins and outs of the enlisted world. And the superintendent guides you through that, right? He is that voice of reason that really guides you through some tough scenarios. But above all, thank you for your leadership, for your sacrifice, for your trust. Thanks for putting it all out there every time. I know that if I needed something, I could just pick up the phone and call Seabass, and he would be there. We've had some tough times together, and some of those moments, him and I will only share. But from the bottom of my heart, Seabass, thanks for everything. I miss you, and thank you for the friendship. My family sitting here, I have words for you as well at the change of command. But Yuri, thanks for making me a better person. Okay, I love you. My beautiful bride, this 2 years has come with some sacrifice. And if I just say, and I'm probably stealing a line from my own change of command speech, but if I just say, you're my rock, and I move on, she'll kick my ass, right? She's so much more than a rock. She's my guiding light. And we've had our tough moments over the 2 years, right? Marriage is tough. Life is tough. Command is tough. COVID is tough. You lay it all out. There's so many nights of tears that you guys probably don't know about. So many nights of angst. Are we doing right by the team? I can't put it all in words, but I'm going to try on Friday. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. Okay? I'll close with just some thoughts for the team. Because for me, this has been about the team from the start. I stood on the stage and said, I don't care about my career. I'm not below the zone. I'm not on any track. I didn't even go to IDE in residence, right? That was something that I took a little bit of pride from. It kind of grounds you. But this has been about the team from the moment. And so a question that I have asked, that DeAngelis I've heard of has asked, is what makes this team so special? The team of teams. And so I have come to an answer. And I would like to just share that briefly with you. Right? And what do I mean by this? This is an enduring question, and I know I'll talk about a little of the change of command, but this is objective. This is not, a hubristic pride moment. But when people see members of the Double Deuce, they are something different. There's a smile, there's a character, there's a way they carry themselves. It's humble, but it's together. Why? I've heard other senior NCOs say it from other squadrons. This is not my observation, right? And so I thought about this before I took command. I've tried to think about it every moment throughout command. And here's kind of what I've come to is it starts with the people. It's less about the why and more about the who, right? You share it with the people. But then you take those people and you put them in Fred. And when you put them in Fred, you have something awesome that you can't put your finger on, and many people don't understand. And I really mean this. It is the crucible of leadership. all the things that you talk about happen in the C5, and they happen in midair. You're solving brain surgery as Fred is not cooperating, and you do it together, and you do it as a team. Is it working? We're good. Okay. So my closing thoughts are: this team listens first, and that is something that is just awesome. The ability for a leader, and all of us are leaders. The All Blacks, there's rank but no class. We are all equals. We listen first, and then we have a knack to decide, to be decisive. And you get that only in Fred. C-17s are all automated. They have a smaller crew. They don't have that dynamic. And that dynamic that you get on the road, those moments you share when you think you're about to die over the Pacific, it translates into the squadron, into our culture, and you birth the best team on earth, this team of teams. So with that, I'll close. Again, I'm humbled by the gifts. I'm blown away. But kind of where I started is thank you for the thought behind them and the kind words today. I love this team so much. I hope that I got all the crying out now, so during the change of command, I don't ugly cry. I love you. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you for coming out to see Colonel Pawluk and everyone speak. We'll leave the chat open or the video open just for a few minutes for anyone to chat. I got the chat open now, but thank you, and we'll see you all next week.